Hey guys, and welcome back to math. Today is October 15th, 2020. Today, your title that you need to add on a new clean page is Solving Multi-Step Problems Using PEMDAS. Today, our objective is we will solve multi-step problems using our order of operation strategies or PEMDAS. Make sure you pause the video here, add that title that is underlined Solving Multi-Step Problems using PEMDAS as the title of a new clean page. Underneath your title, I want you to write your order of operations again, parentheses, and I put the example here, exponents, and it's a smaller number next to a larger number that you have to double or triple or quadruple. Multiplication, division, addition, or subtraction. Rewrite your order of operations. Make sure that they are in your notes. Pause the video here if you need that time to write those again. PEMDAS. So today we are going to be analyzing some word problems and using our order of operations strategies, everything that we've learned to build expressions and then create equations to solve for the final answer. This first one, I want you to simply watch as I go through, as I use my cubes strategies to analyze the word problem, and then I will go through my steps to build my expression, and then I will use the expression to create an equation to solve. So simply put your pencils down here and watch as I go through the equation and use my strategies to solve the problem. So Edison has $65. He had it in his pocket, $65. Then he spent $25. Then he spent another $18. The question says, how much does he have left? So that final answer is how much money does he have left? So I am going to put M equals money. So I'm going to be solving for M. So the first step is we need to build our expression. So I'm thinking to myself, this is my total. He spent, that sounds like a subtraction. And then he spent another 18. So I'm going to think about this. If I'm doing subtraction, I need to put my total first. So my expression is going to be $65 minus 25. I'm going to go ahead and put parentheses around that so that I know that that's what needs to happen first. And then once I get that, I'm going to subtract another $18. Once I get these completed, then that gives me my M. So there is the expression. This is the first part. I'm going to create my expression to find my variable, my M. So let's go ahead and watch as I go through the problem to solve. So step one is I'm going to do my parentheses, 65 minus 25, and I end up with 40. My step two is I take 40 and I subtract 18. So then you should have a 3 and a 10, and you bring down your 2 and 2. So my end part is $22. So when I solve for M equals $22. You did not need to write any of that down. I just simply want y'all to follow along and pay attention as we do it. These next two, we're going to work together. So I'm going to give you some time to analyze, build your expressions, and create your equations to solve for the answer. Here is the next one. So this time, have your pencils ready. Okay, we do Carlos picked 55 apples in the morning and then 55 apples in the afternoon. The apples were then placed into 5 bags. So the same number is in each bag. How many apples are in each bag? So I am going to look at this. And again, I want you guys to be thinking about doing this on your own. So we're going to walk through this one. He had 55 apples in the morning and then another 55 apples in the afternoon. That sounds like I'm going to have to add. The apples were then placed into 5 bags with the same number in each bag. So it sounds like we're separating out equally, which also sounds like division. How many apples are in each bag? So I'm going to put my variable as A as apples. So that's what I'm going to solve for. So I'm going to think about my equation. I have 55 apples in the morning and then another 55 apples in the afternoon. I'm going to think about that has to happen first. And then I'm going to divide them into 5 bags. That is the equation to solve how many apples go into each bag. So here is the expression and the equation that you would have to do. Pause the video here and see if you can solve it. Pause the video here and see if you can solve. Okay, so you should have, first step, 55 plus 55, which you will get 111. If you take 111 and divide that by 5, you should have a 2. And then it divides into 10. You should have a 2. So your A, final step, we did our parentheses, we did our division. Your final step is A equals 22. And that's what you should have gotten for your answer. We're going to walk through one more. Make sure that you have this corrected. If you did not do the steps correct, make sure that you go back and do that. Next one. Laura bought 2 punnets of coriander seeds. Each punnet held 8 seedlings. Then she planted them into 4 pots, so there was the same number of plants in each pot. How many plants did she put into each pot? So again, I want you to try to do this one on your own. So pause the video here and see if you can solve it. You should have been able to cube and see that she bought 2 punnets of coriander seedlings. Each punnet held 8 seedlings. Then she planted them into 4 pots. So there was the same number of plants in each pot. How many plants did she put into each pot? So you should have your P for plants. That is what we are going to be solving for. So if we have P equals, you should have seen that there were 2 sets and 8 in each one. Then you're going to divide them into 4 to get your how many goes into each. So your step 1, you should have had 2 times 8 equals 16. And then your step 2, you should have 4 on the outside, 16 divided by 4, and that is 4. 4 times 4 is 16, and you end up with a 0. So your P for your final answer should have been P, or plant, equals 4. Okay, So again, this is the same thing that we were doing yesterday. And now you guys are going to be going into your breakout groups for this next part to practice 3 on your own. Okay, in your exit ticket is in your breakout rooms. You're going to create the expression and then solve. You have 3 problems to work with your teammates, and then we will come back together to make sure that you did them correctly. Remember, today we are creating the expressions and also solving. So that is the very first part. Then your exit ticket is completed and you will go to your independent work, which is also 4 questions. It is on page 101 in your student journal. On Orgo, it is number 2, A through D. You will create your expression and then you will solve or find the solution. There is room to work inside of your books. There are 4 problems that you will be able to do, and then you will have your answers inside the solution part. If you have your workbooks, it makes it much easier to be able to do it. Okay, before we go to the independent work, right now we are going to go to our exit ticket into our breakout rooms, and I will see you there to get you guys separated up.